Hey guys, Brady here, and I just want to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I made a video on this a while back about what I'm about to say a while back, but I want to touch upon it further since uh, that was probably 2 or 3 years ago, and we've gotten a shit ton of Marvel movies since then. But before we dive into anything, I want to talk about some rumors that are floating around with the casting of the new X-Men movie that they're making, and it doesn't sound good. They Marvel is still hell bent on race swapping when it doesn't make sense to race swap. Just fucking cast the character as is. If the character is white in the comics, make him white in the movies. If the character is black in the comics, make them black in the movies. You're not gonna make Black Panther white. You're not gonna make Storm white. Um, so why is it okay to make Magneto black or Xavier black or hell even Logan black? Like it doesn't make sense. Just fucking keep them as is. Like it's kind of hypocritical that they're like, oh, we need representation in the X Men. Blah blah blah. You have representation. You got Storm. You got. I'm not a huge like nerd when it comes to X Men, but I know that there's quite a bit diversity in the X Men comics. Isn't Jubilee or whatever the fuck her name is? Isn't she like Asian or something? At least that's what she looks like in the cartoon. So just fucking keep them as is. I mean, it's not like there's aren't any characters in the Marvel comic books that aren't black. There's plenty. There's Blade, Storm, T'Challa, um, Sam Wilson, James Rhodes. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Like you don't need a race swap for the sake of race swap. You could just choose an already established black character and put them in the movie. It's not hard. Anyway, so besides that, they're looking at like someone like Coleman Domingo to be Xavier and Denzel Washington to be Magneto. Actually, maybe not Denzel Washington. Another rumor that's going around for the casting of Magneto is Daniel Day-Lewis, and I think that's fucking hilarious because are they serious about Daniel Day-Lewis? Daniel Day-Lewis is in retirement now. He just came out of retirement to do this movie he's shooting with his son. But if it wasn't for that movie, he would probably still be in fucking retirement. And I don't, even if he's not retiring, even if he's not in retirement, he's not going to do a Marvel movie. He doesn't want to be contractually obligated to be in like 4 or 5 movies in a span of like 10 years. He doesn't want to fucking do that. He's a thespian actor, for crying out loud. He's method. Daniel Day-Lewis is not going to do Marvel. Yeah, I don't see someone like Daniel Day-Lewis being in our Marvel movie, especially if you know his track record. He doesn't do big bombastic action movies, which is pretty much what uh, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is: big bombastic action movies. I think the closest thing he's done to an action movie was The Last of the Mohicans. That's it. I think that's would that count as a western? Whatever. But he, Daniel Day Lewis is a fantastic actor, but I don't think he's the person for the MCU. He's like so far gone from like he's like the MCU is below him is what I'm trying to say. He's so beyond the MCU. Phenomenal actor. Is he one of my favorites? No, but he's a fucking great actor. Lincoln, There Will Be Blood, uh, Gangs of New York. Those are like the only 3 I've seen. I haven't really seen. Oh, and I've also seen Last of the Mohicans. Haven't seen too many Daniel Day-Lewis movies. He doesn't really do it for me as an actor. But from the stuff I've seen him in, he's fantastic. I'm just not gonna go out of my way to see a Daniel Day-Lewis movie unless I'm really interested in the movie. I want to see. I haven't seen Phantom Thread. I've heard great things, so maybe I'll see that eventually. But anyway, so yeah, I doubt they're gonna get Daniel Day-Lewis. If they couldn't get Tom Cruise to be Iron Man, how are they gonna get Daniel Day-Lewis to be Magneto? They'd have better luck with DiCaprio, which DiCaprio may be game for an MCU movie. I don't know. I mean, he's done action before: Body of Lies, Inception, What else did he do? Blood Diamond is another one. He has another, I guess you could call, action movie coming out this summer, or is it the fall? One Battle After Another, which is a dumb title for a movie, by the way, but it's supposedly an action movie. So, Blood Diamond, Inception, Body of Lies, One Battle After Another. Why is he only doing action movies with Warner Brothers? But yeah, I think DiCaprio. I could see DiCaprio being in a Marvel movie. Um, More than I can see Daniel Day Lewis being in one. Tom Cruise could still, I guess, make a small cameo in a Marvel movie as like an Iron Man variant or something, because he was supposed to be Iron Man at one point. But I don't see him being like a main role in the MCU. Maybe 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, when when Marvel first came out, but not now. He wants to focus on his like more dramatic movies, like more smaller scale films, like what Color of Money, Rain Man, and all that were. Um, so he's gonna take a break from action, which is fine. He's in his mid 60s already, so he should take a break or just not do action movies no more. I love the guy a lot, but if he wants to not do action movies anymore, I won't be too mad as long as I still get to see him do other movies. Like I said, I like Tom Cruise's other movies that aren't his action movies. I think Rain Man's a really great movie. Color of Money is a really great movie. Magnolia, Eyes Wide Shut, great movies, and they're not action movies. They're more of his like more dramatic roles. Um, so I wouldn't mind seeing him go back to his dramatic roots for a bit, or I guess for the rest of his career. Although he still wants to do a Top Gun movie. Whatever. But yeah, where was I? So yeah, so and let's move on. So, um, Thunderbolts just came out and apparently is not doing so well at the box office. Um, I saw Captain America: Brave New World. Did not like it. I I don't get why they had like the cast of the Incredible Hulk in this movie. That movie should have been an Incredible Hulk sequel with Betty Ross and uh, General Ross and Samuel Stearns appearing again in this movie. Although it's not a Hulk movie, it's a Captain America movie. How does that fucking make sense? Like, why are you gonna have an Incredible Hulk villain appear in a Captain America movie? Captain America, I should say, movie. Um, it just didn't make sense. It should have been a Hulk movie, but it wasn't. Like, if I said, what's his name? Is his name like the Leader or something? If I said the Leader, Red Hulk, and Betty Ross appear in the MCU again, would you guess it was a Captain America movie? No, you'd be like, holy shit, an Incredible Hulk 2? Awesome. No, that's not what we got. We got Captain America 4, which was just not good. The action was lacking. Um, the effects were okay, and just the story just didn't feel like a Captain America movie. Felt they were trying to make it like another Civil War, or not Civil War, Winter Soldier, but it was more of like a diet Winter Soldier. Um, and then you got Thunderbolts. Like I said, Thunderbolts just is doing terrible at the box office. Supposedly, it's doing worse than Brave New World, and I thought Thunderbolts was a much better movie in my opinion than Brave New World. It's not as good as Marvel's other efforts lately. From like Phase One, Phase Two, hell, even Phase Three. But it's not as terrible as like what they've been pushing out. It's one of their better films, but that's not really saying much because they've been making a slew of shit movies lately. Eternals, Shang-Chi, Black Panther 2, Ant-Man 3, Thor 4, The Marvels. What else is there? Oh, I know Doctor Strange was okay, but yeah, um, from Phase 4 and Phase 5, the only movies that I like enjoyed were, uh, what's it called? Spider-Man: No Way Home. I thought Black Widow was a good enough movie, not one of the better movies, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Deadpool and Wolverine was pretty good. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was okay. Um, Doctor Strange 2 was fine. I wasn't a huge fan of the first movie. The second movie was eh. And then Thunderbolts was just okay. But the effects in Thunderbolts were terrible. Like, for those of you who have seen the movie, there's like that scene in the movie where like they're in the truck and they crash into the fucking the fucking door to like that building. I felt like it looked like the movie stopped for a second to change the real truck into a CGI truck as soon as it hit the glass, and as soon as it turned into a CGI truck, it was just so fucking noticeable. It looked so bad. Like how, like Marvel, what are you doing? Your movies used to look so fucking good, and now it's just like a CGI fuck fest. It's terrible. What the fuck? Like, I wish Marvel Studios would go back to part with their partnership with Paramount, because when they were with Paramount, their movies looked great. Iron Man has like this gritty look to it. The first two ones had like had like a gritty look to them, and so did the first Thor movie. And then like I feel like as soon as Disney started distributing the movies on their own after Iron Man 3 is when the quality started dipping a little bit, and the quality just got worse after Civil War. I mean, Civil War movies, you could definitely tell they were shooting a bunch of things on green screen, and that's kind of dumb. It kind of takes you out of the movie a little bit once you know that. And I mean, it still looks good, but I prefer if they're shooting on location instead of just like green screen and CG and all that. I mean, I guess the first Iron Man movie was, I guess, CGI as well, but they did a damn good job at making it look as realistic as fucking possible. Now it's just looks like, oh, they're on a green screen. It's quite obvious. And then like the whole nanotech thing from Infinity War just really cheapened Iron Man suit for me. Like I missed the gears and shit you hear as Iron Man walks, and his nano suits, you don't get that. And anybody else miss that about Iron Man suit in like the first three Iron Man movies? Like I just miss the sounds he makes as he walks. Like, I can't really make the sound, but you know what I'm talking about. Um, like the whole metal, all the metal sounds you'd hear was so cool, and you don't get that in the you didn't get that since like Avengers: Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron was terrible. Um, I feel like the quality of the films as far as like the filmmaking process goes, as far as like shooting on a green screen and whatnot, it became noticeable in that movie, and it just got worse and worse as time went on, and now it just looks like shit. It's just everything just looks like they're obviously on a fucking green screen. That's what Thunderbolts was. They're obviously on a fucking green screen, or really poorly rendered CGI trucks crashing into a building. Like, Marvel needs to go back to Paramount. That's it. The movies looked better. The movies were better. They had a more gritty look to them. They still have the jokey Marvel humor in the Paramount movies, but the movies just looked good. And I feel like Paramount wouldn't be doing the stupid woke shit that Disney's doing. Does Paramount do like the whole DI shit in their movies? Sometimes, but it's not as apparent, and it's not as bad as Disney does it. Disney does it for every fucking movie they make. Like, oh, we need it. We need a quota. Blah blah blah. We got to race swap a character for no fucking reason other than the fact that we needed the quota. Paramount doesn't really do that. I mean, they did it with what's her face, April O'Neil for the animated Ninja Turtles movie a couple years ago. But that's it. That's the only time I remember I could think of Paramount doing something that Disney would have done. But Paramount's usually pretty respectful with their characters. I mean, look at the Sonic movies. Look at Mission Impossible. Look at Top Gun Maverick. Look at That's all I have. People liked Love and Monsters. I haven't seen that movie in its entirety yet, but apparently Love and Monsters didn't have that bullshit in there. But Paramount handles their movies a lot better than Disney handles their movies. I can't say so much about their TV division because I heard Halo was terrible and was also full of that nonsense that Disney likes pushing in their stuff. But Marvel just needs to go back to Paramount. What do you guys think? Should Marvel go back to Paramount or should it stay with Disney? I imagine everyone would think that they should just go back to Paramount because Disney clearly doesn't know what the fuck they're doing lately.